So today we're going to be taking a closer look at Meraki's unified SaaS platform, which essentially brings together SD-WAN, cloud security, and observability into a single simplified vendor solution. We've got a great panelist of speakers joining me today. My name is Sophie Mitchell. I'm the Cisco Vendor Manager here at Kubus. Ignore the really unflattering photo of me. Joining me today is Carl Hayward, who is a Senior Territory Account Manager at Meraki. We've got Josh Atkinson, who is the SaaS Specialist within the Cisco Secure team, and our very own Archie Doyle, who is a Client Director here at Kubus and manages some of our larger customers. Just a quick run through the agenda. We've got lots of great content to get through the next 30 to 40 minutes. So in a moment, I'm going to pass you over to Carl, who's going to run through a little bit around the Meraki story, delve into the dashboard. He'll then pass over to Josh, who's going to do a deeper dive into the solution itself, look at some of those challenges that you're likely facing around remote workers and how this particular solution can help alleviate some of those pain points. And then finally, Archie will introduce you to Kubus, who we are as a company, what we do, and the value that we can bring to your organization. And then at the end, we'll jump into a short Q&A. If you have got any questions throughout the presentation, please do pop them in the Q&A or in the chat box, and we'll look to address them at the end of the presentation. So with that, I shall hand over to you, Carl.
Thank you, Sophie. And I know we were having technical issues. I can't share my camera, so please take note of my picture on there because I'm definitely now fuller in the face and lesser hair on top of the head. So you ignore Sophie's, take note of mine. I'm just going to try and share my screen, see how we get on. As I say, we were having technical issues, so let's see how we go on that. Sophie, looking to you for feedback. How are we doing?
All good, Carl, all good.
Yeah. Cool. This isn't going to be a death by PowerPoint. I just want to give everyone a quick overview of kind of who Cisco Meraki are. Some of you may know, some of you may not, and kind of what we do, what we offer, and then I will pass off to Josh for the Secure Connect piece. So Cisco Meraki, we are Cisco's enterprise cloud networking platform. We've got kind of a full stack in terms of networking. So on your access layer, you're looking at Wi-Fi, switching, MDM, going through security and SD-WAN, IoT, we've got cameras, sensors, a whole host of APIs and plugins. And then, as I say, what we'll go on to is the Secure Connect piece, which Josh will cover off. But that's kind of our security side of things. So with Meraki at the moment, we're going through a bit of a transition phase where Cisco seems to be kind of investing heavily into everything that Meraki are doing. So I'll show you the dashboard shortly, but you can kind of see here, this is the dashboard normally, and everything with Cisco is starting to tie in a little bit. So access to, say, Thousand Eyes or your data center networking will all now fall under your dashboard. So, you know, with our switches, for example, we're now offering Catalyst switches, but managing the Meraki dashboard rather than having to go on site to manage them, etc. So quite an exciting phase for us at Meraki. A lot of investment from Cisco. Cisco is seeing Meraki as kind of the way forward in terms of our dashboard and how we manage things. And that kind of ties into this side where you kind of see Cisco Meraki in the dashboard at the center. Like I mentioned, Thousand Eyes or Umbrella, which Josh will touch on, security side of things. Everything can kind of now fall into place, all be managed in the similar sort of place or soon to be the same place. So it's quite a promising, quite an exciting time for us. And I think, I don't know if this side's too relevant, to be fair. So what I'm going to do is just jump out of this and come on to here. So in terms of our dashboards, I just want to show you this is our website, you know, anyone can get to it. And all you do to get the dashboard is log in here. This can be from phone, laptop, on my laptop now, it can be phone, iPad, anything you like, you can log on, manage from anywhere. And what it would do is take you to something similar to this. This is our live environment in our Finsbury office. I'm actually working remotely at the moment, but kind of can connect back into it as you see. So if you've got multiple sites, you would see all of these drop down here. You can see different, we've got San Francisco, we've got London, we've got Krakow, we've got, you know, all of our sites here. So that's what you guys would have. You'll see with Meraki, everything is kind of a traffic light system. So green, great, orange, alerting something, red, okay, something seriously up, it's been offline for maybe 48 hours or so, you really need to look into it. everything is kind of, you click in and it will take you to wherever you need to be. This is kind of an overview that you'll see. So all these people are currently connected right now in our Finsbury office. You'll get an overview of, say, their layer 7 application, for example. So you can see that I think people are being fairly productive, which is always a good thing. Not too much YouTube on there at the moment. But what I will show is if there is someone kind of doing, say, a bit too much YouTube or whatever it might be, we can go wired or wireless. Let's look at our wireless clients for now, and maybe someone's MacBook Pro, because that's normally where you'll get someone kind of misbehaving or doing something, watching, I don't know, the cricket on a Thursday morning or something. If you find they're abusing your bandwidth, you can just drop down here and immediately block them. Just give them a little pop-up to say why you're blocking them, or you do a group policy. Now, this is a very short, quick example. You can do it as a overarching group policy per SSID. You can do it individual basis like this if you see someone abusing your network, but it's quite interesting to see. You can just jump in and what you get with every single client. So say this person was having issues. Again, you get this traffic light system. So you will see their kind of route to your network, for example. So through an access point, you can, again, everything's kind of, you can click into everything from here. So access points to your switches, to your firewalls, whatever that might be. Again, you can see just that individual person's layer 7 application, all the visibility on that. You would also kind of, if you're having issues with your network, you can go into topology and have a quick look at things. So what this is going to do, rather than you building out, say, Visio diagrams, it's all built out for you. So we're looking at how many clients we've got, which way they're connected, and you can go through from here the whole way through and see kind of, I guess, everyone's journey on your network. What's also quite interesting, and I won't take too much longer because I'm conscious Josh has got a lot more to cover than me today, but wireless is one of our most popular products, or our wireless access points are, and this is a fairly new thing. So wireless health, it's really powerful. You can come in, you can say maybe the last week or so, we'll see what's going on. Last week we've had 8 failed clients. We want to know why that is, probably, just to get an understanding. Okay, it's the SSID is the corporate one's the main issue, and authentication seems to be the only issue here. It's probably someone putting in their password wrong. So it just gives you an idea of what's going on in your network, what's going right, what's going wrong. There's a whole host of things, and I went through the stack there. It's all here on your left-hand side, so everything's going to be the same. Your security and SD-WAN, you've got monitor here, configure here. Switching, same thing, you've got monitor here, configure here. So there's loads and loads of information to be had. I would encourage any of you, if you're interested, set up a further call with one of us at Meraki. We're always happy to help, always happy to show you the dashboard. There's loads of information online, whether it's through YouTube, whether it's through our documentation, anything. So please give us a shout and let us know. What is quite interesting, and is kind of where I'm going to pass over to Josh, is now we're seeing everything in one place. So we're seeing our Secure Connect piece being pulled into the dashboards. As I say, Josh will go through it, but you'll see as time goes on, these little pop-outs guys will be removed and it will all be in exactly the same place. But for now, we're kind of giving you access to everything, whether it's your networking, your Secure Connect piece, it's all in one place. So that is Meraki at a whiz through, 5 minutes, quick overview. It's super powerful for customers. It's really easy to manage. I'm running off it today here. I set it up myself. I'm not technical whatsoever. So it's an exciting, let's say, exciting time for us. We're really trying to integrate everything so that it's easy for customers. And with that, I think Josh will probably show you how we're integrated and how Secure Connect can help you guys. So I'm going to pass off to Josh. It's not going to let me. Josh, if you can take over sharing, because it's actually not letting me stop right now. I think I've got the wrong rights.
That is absolutely
There
fine.
we go. I've got it. On to you, mate.
Got it? Okay, cool. Sorry, give me 2 seconds because I'm also having a couple issues, but hopefully you can see my screen.
Yep, all good.
Yep, all good.
Perfect. So yeah, good morning everyone. Thanks for the overview of Meraki, Carl. So as Sophie mentioned, Secure Connect is sort of our new SASE solution. I say new, it's been around for sort of 12-18 months or so at the moment, and effectively it's where SD-WAN and security comes together. giving you sort of a single solution for all in one product. Now, I'll start off with this. This is actually a picture taken from we call it Cisco Impact. It's where basically Cisco comes together once a year. We work out the roadmap of the year, discuss what sort of customer problems we're typically seeing and where we want the business to head. And Sandra Huber, who was the VP Infrastructure or still is at Adidas, she said, where security meets the network, this is where Cisco shines. And Secure Connect is exactly what she was referring to. So where you take a full SD-WAN Meraki infrastructure, you take all of the security products that Cisco has, and you put it all in one solution. That is effectively Secure Connect. Although it's only been around for 12 to 18 months, you look under the bonnet, and it's all of Cisco's sort of core infrastructure, the security policy that you're seeing, whether that's at a DNS or at a DLP, remote browser isolation, it's all from Umbrella. And obviously the SD-WAN piece is all from Meraki, and it's in a dashboard that all of our Meraki customers love today. So going on to this slide here, hopefully you can still see my screen because my screen's fluttering a little bit. But here you can see we live in a highly distributed, diverse landscape. So a lot of customers are sort of still migrating away from that COVID-19 sort of response, where a lot of customers were fully in the office, then going back fully working remote, and now it's more of an in-between hybrid situation. So we still got users coming into the office, we still got users at home, and we want them to have a seamless connectivity to all of their applications, no matter where they are. At the moment, we might have users logging onto a VPN to get to certain applications. We might have certain users having to do SSH to get to certain private applications. It really depends on the infrastructure of each individual customer. But what we want is for the IT teams to feel completely secure, have a really easily managed solution, and we want the users themselves to have a really sort of frictionless experience. When we talk security at Cisco, we want to frustrate the attackers rather than the users themselves. Each and every sort of products that we offer, whether you're looking at Duo from MFA or Secure Connect here today, it's built on the same sort of policy model. So you can see with the explosions of sort of cloud technologies, applications have moved out of the traditional sort of data centers, and we're now running in a more of a multi-cloud environment. So we're coupling our hybrid work reality where users can be anywhere. So therefore the sort of traditional perimeter no longer exists. With this, so we're seeing sort of an increase in operational costs, complexity, added security risks. So these are sort of all the obstacles we're trying to overcome. And one of the main sort of things that we were discussing at Cisco Impact was the sort of multi-vendor approach. We're seeing more and more customers, are loving Meraki, for example, and they're having a really great experience with the Meraki solution. But then for other aspects of their infrastructure, they might be using a multi-vendor approach. So they might have all these different vendors that are covering all these different tools, and it's becoming quite complicated, not just on renewal dates and having to sync their users, but having all of the tools work one-on-one with each other. So this is why we're sort of seeing a lot of customers that are either Meraki customers or Umbrella customers, or are just even thinking about, switching over to one of the Cisco products. They're now re-looking at everything, and it's a much wider conversation for us to be able to have, one subscription model, one product that covers holistically everything. So you can see here, some customers might have SD-WAN, might have CASB, might have sort of a secure way gateway to cover from one vendor, and having them all talk to each other, work together with that sort of frictionless experience can be quite difficult. So this is mainly the challenge we're trying to deal with. And if it lets me switch through to the next slide. Here we go. So what do we do to solve this problem? So SASE, if those of you aren't familiar with it, SASE is sort of the key term, Secure Access Service Edge. Again, where we're bringing everything from SD-WAN, whether that's content delivery caching, sort of our wide area network optimizing and routing, and all of the security components from our SSE solutions together. So data loss prevention and RBI, CASB, ZTNA, firewall as a service, or secure web gateway, where we bring all of that functionality together, bringing sort of an end-to-end visibility. And Meraki's or sort of Cisco's piece comes together, and that's Secure Connect. So with this, we're trying to do three things. We're trying to boost our productivity, we're trying to optimize costs, and we're trying to minimize risks. Now, we've got seamless user experiences sort of everywhere that power hybrid work, so employees can access whatever they need, whenever they need it. We're trying to improve the IT experience through an easier management control, network and security functions through tool consolidation, so that we can sort of have this SASE convergence providing. When it comes to optimizing costs, we want a greater agility within the cloud experience. So we want to be cloud native, highly adaptable, future-proof infrastructure. These are all sort of things that we're seeing with customers. And at the same time, there's more of a limited need for hardware and increased efficiency in saving time. You can scale up and down throughout the models. You've got a really easy sort of subscription model where you can add and remove users with a click. We'll show you all of this through a very, very short demo. The idea of today is really to give you a high-level overview of what the tooling is, why it's really important in the market, and then we can sort of do some follow-ups on there if you guys want some more one-to-one in-depth demos with sort of our specialist teams here at Cisco. And then we obviously minimize risk is a key thing for everyone at the moment. Everyone wants greater network resilience. They want more visibility across the dashboard, and they want security always on. So again, these are just a few of the key components. Now this slide will look very, very similar, but the idea is that this is where we bring it together at Cisco. So some customers, may have an SD-WAN from one provider, an SSE experience from one provider, and it might work well together. But the overall story is that, again, it can be quite complicated. It can be quite confusing for the customers having these different tools in different places, and having it all under one platform, like Carl mentioned. It's quite the experience. So as we go through, Secure Connect really tackles it. It has four aspects. So we have, from the top right, we have secure internet access. This is a lot of our security components for Umbrella, where you can do DNS-based policing, blocking specific sites if you wanted to, or doing content filtering, where we can cut out and protect users from any of the sort of general malware, or if you just want to make sure they're not going on any specific sites that you don't want them to. We then have secure private access, which is where we're having all of the access to our private apps behind the data center. It doesn't matter to us whether they're in the cloud, where the application is. The whole idea of Secure Connect is that you have the same experience. We like to use the analogy of turning on the tap. When you want a glass of water at home, you turn on the tap and you get water. You don't really care what pipe it comes from, how it gets there. You just care that every time you want a glass of water, if it's hot or cold, you turn the tap and you get the water. We then have our secure remote access components. So we're securing all of those users, no matter where they are. They can be down at a local Starbucks, they could be at the home office, they could be in the office themselves, and they'll again have the same user experience. Obviously, with the policy setting that you can run within Secure Connect, you can determine what applications they have access to, how much access they have, depending on what type of user they are. So again, with this, we can have our finance users in one particular group and have them only access to certain finance applications, or we can say, okay, we can realize that you're on a public network. The connection isn't so secure, so therefore we're only going to give you access to this group of applications. When you're back in the office or you're back at your home network that we trust, we'll give you a more sort of a more inclusive environment, so you have access to everything. And it's that whole ZTNA component that comes into Secure Connect. So we're going back to trusting no one, but again, trying to keep it frictionless. And with the power of Meraki, this interconnects with everything, so you can have all of your sites and you can have vision of all of your Meraki components wherever you are. So this is what we have. If I am able to hopefully stop sharing my screen and then re-share in a second, you might hopefully be able to see our demo of Secure Connect. You saw the dashboard with Carl. So I'll only focus on the Meraki piece when it lets me get there. Give me 2 seconds. Hopefully you can see the Meraki dashboard. Perfect. So just give me a nod. So this is our Secure Connect overview page. So here once it loads, we can see everything. We can see all of our sites. We can see the policy counts that we've got running. We can see our network tunnels, remote access, which isn't set up on this demo itself. our private applications that we've configured, and a lot of our public applications. And we can see here it gives us a little bit of a risk scoring. So with security, we can see all of our requests. We can see which ones have been blocked, which ones have been allowed. We can really dig deeper into the ones that have been blocked if we want to. It really depends on what you wanted to do. When it comes to adding sites, obviously, because this plugs in with Meraki, it's a really, really easy functionality. We can just click into our Meraki sites. We can select which site it is that we want to add, and then we select a region. So for this one in particular, it's on the East Coast. We'll select our US Northeast data centers because they're the closest. And then you'll just go through and you'll click next, and you'll assign them. In this demo itself, it won't have me right controls to edit anything, but that is effectively as simple as it is. It's within a few clicks, you can add all of your sites and have full visibility of them. So you can see here, we can see all of our sites. We can plug into them and see which data center they're at, and go through and have that visibility there. When it comes to our users, again, I mentioned groups, so we can have them. We can see our full list of users and sync our typical ADs to pull them through. We can have our groups of users. We've got finance, we've got doctors, etc. You can have an IT admin team. If you've got multiple locations and multiple administrators to different users, you can give them different parental controls to go through here. Everything that you can see has got a little bit of a pop out, does pop out at the moment, potentially to Umbrella, Cisco Umbrella, which I'll show you in a second. It will reroute you back, and this is something that we're changing constantly at the moment. As Carl mentioned, it's all going to be under one platform. So although at the moment it does pop you out, very soon that is going to be changed, and we've been doing more and more of it over the last sort of couple of months. So then when you want to look at, say, remote access, all of our users that aren't in the office, which is a big proportion of people at the moment, we can see, again, all of the regions. We can see our assigned IP pools. We can see the display names. We've got a lot of visibility here. With the secure client, which is what will be on those devices, this is Cisco Secure Client, which has basically come from Cisco AnyConnect. So it's, again, using all of our old toolings, just with a fancy new name. We can push this out via our MDM for all of the different operating systems, whether that's Windows, Mac, Linux, etc. This is how you'll be able to push it out. Again, really, really simple. Now, Secure Connect is mainly around the security piece, right? So it's all about the policing and giving users access. So you can see here, we have different policies depending on what you wanted to do, whether that's just at a DNS level, whether that's at a web level, whether that's DLP, firewall, remote browser access, etc. It really depends. As I mentioned, these do pop out to Umbrella now. DNS, given the name, does everything at that domain level. Web DLP, firewall, will take it a step further. So if you really want to, and one example I always use is LinkedIn and Reddit. So both LinkedIn and Reddit are sort of fairly safe websites. However, there might be aspects that we don't want them to go on. So with LinkedIn, if we don't want our users accessing linkedin.com/jobs in company time on company devices, then we can block that specific page, but we can give them access to the rest of LinkedIn. So we can say you have access to linkedin.com/feed and everything else, but just not jobs. If they want to go on that after company time, and that's a policy you want to configure, then you can allow that. Or if you just want to say no on company devices, we don't want them to have access to that, then we won't. And the same works with Reddit. Reddit's got some really great information that might be useful to some of our employees. You know, might want them to have access to reddit.com/sysadmin, for example, but we don't want them to have access to any adult or gambling sites at all. And that's where Umbrella's DNS policies that is in Secure Connect can be configured. And these have sort of a bottom-up approach. So, and they're all done through identities, for destination lists. So for this one example, we can edit this policy. At the moment, it's applied to all identities. We could change this to a group of users. Again, looking at those groups, like we mentioned about finance groups or IT groups, or we could even just select a particular site. So we could say this site has this policy, this site has this policy, our remote users have these policies, and they can stack on top of one another. We can edit the security settings. So you can see we can block malware, we can block newly seen domains, command and control callbacks, phishing attacks, dynamic DNS, any potential harmful DNAs, DNS tunneling, VPN, crypto mining, so we don't see a strain on the network. All of these things you can turn on and off, depending on how you want them to be. As default, you can see we have all these ones turned on. Using domains, sometimes we have some conflicts. Now, it's be worth mentioning a lot of this intelligence, a lot of this knowledge all comes through a product called Cisco Talos. Some of you might be familiar with it, some of you won't. Cisco Talos is basically Cisco. It's the largest threat intelligence company out there, and it's all backed by Cisco. So we have a ton of researchers constantly working day in, day out, and their only job is to look across and basically research the network and see what attacks are out there, what domains may be malicious, which newly seen domains are coming up, and whether they're safe or not. But the idea of Cisco Talos is it pairs into every single one of Cisco's security tools. So, and no matter the organization size, you still get exactly the same intelligence. So, for example, if we've got HSBC as a customer and they use us for Cisco Umbrella or just as our secure endpoint or one of our many Cisco security tools, and they've got 50,000 seats, every single one of those users, whenever they're surfing the internet, whenever they're going to new sites, browsing, whatever it is they're doing, as soon as they come across a particular piece of malware that may be new, or they open a file in a sandbox and we deem that that particular file is containing a new attack, then, or they go on a brand new site that just got launched yesterday and that again is malicious, all of that intelligence will feed back to Cisco Talos, and Cisco Talos will share that out with you, whether you're at 10 seats, 50 seats, 500, it doesn't matter. So even though there is a new site that maybe only launched yesterday, the chances of us seeing it are quite high. We tend to say that we've seen 90% of the network and everything, and the internet and everything that's out there. Most of the internet traffic out there in the globe runs through us. We're only second to Google, and it's not a bad second place. And it goes back to that whole piece that Sandra mentioned, where Cisco really shines when network and security comes together, because we've been the network provider for so long and we've got such an extent in the security network. Now, just going to cover this DNS policy, just finish off this DNS policy very quick, simple. We can see we can do content filtering, so we have it met as high, moderate, and low. High will block a lot of everything. Low, not so much, but still some of the core things we want to block. Or we can go custom, and if you really wanted to block specific things like entertainment, hunting, job search, for example, we can do all of that here within Cisco Umbrella's dashboard, which again will reroute you back to Cisco Secure Connect. We can do file analysis. You can have a custom block page. You can have destination lists enforced. You can block specific sites, or you can have a global allow list. If you don't want to have any blockage on anything Microsoft, but you trust them as a provider, we can allow everything that's Microsoft itself, but you might want to block Xbox Live, for example, or the Microsoft Game Center if you really wanted to. But this is just one of the ways that you can configure policies, and it's quite extensive. So again, like I said, if this is something that one of you want to go over in more depth, then we can always arrange a session afterwards. I'm going to very quickly go back. Hopefully you can see me a PowerPoint. Are we back to the PowerPoint, Sophie?
Yes, we are.
Perfect, thanks. Sorry, I couldn't quite see you there. So with Cisco Secure Connect, we're giving a unique value. So you're getting a unified support with the team. So you've got one source of support for the whole product, whether it's Meraki side, whether it's the security side with the umbrella policy setting. It's all one unified support. We've got a unified dashboard, so it's all a single pane of glass. I know at the moment we are going through to the umbrella part at parts, but this will change soon. We've got a unified security policy, so all of the policy setting will reroute within another. Before this, you might have had cloud delivered firewalls, so you might have had to change firewalls in different places depending on where they were. With here, you can change all of your firewall policy setting from one platform. We've got onboarding support. I say this to all of my customers, but when Cisco release a new tool, they want it to do really, really well. And so with that, they put a hell of a lot of support behind it. So it means all of the new customers that are sort of getting involved with Cisco Secure Connect, again, have a lot of support from Cisco on this, because it's a big topic for them and they want it to do well. Interconnect seamlessly across all of your branch sites, no matter where they are within the network. You saw on that demo, we had sites in Europe, we had sites in America, we had sites in Asia. It doesn't matter where they are, they all interconnect seamlessly, and it's a turnkey service. So with this, Secure Connect comes in, we say 2 packages, but it's 4. We have our secure internet access piece, which is that foundation. So we're able to do a lot of the policy setting. We can do our cloud delivered firewall. We can go in through and have the Fabric interconnect, URL filtering. Our secure web gateway is all complete within there. And then the second piece, which we call complete, takes more of those SPA, remote browser access, that RBI piece, and gives us the seamless connectivity to all our applications, no matter where they are. So this is where you'll see in sort of the AnyConnect VPN, granular access, SAML authentication, a built-in IDP, etc., etc. I'm not going to read through them all because you guys can see this, and we can send you some documentation afterwards. Now you can mix the additions. So say, for example, if your current infrastructure is quite split, so you've got a lot of users in the office still, and a lot of users at different sites that may be remote users, and you think the complete edition is applicable to, say, 40% of your workforce, whereas SIAs, our foundation access, would be applicable for the rest of the network, then we can split the editions. They just need to be both on essentials or both an advantage, if that makes sense. So this is the package options. We can send you this, like I said, afterwards. And that is a very, very brief overview of Secure Connect. So I think, are we doing questions afterwards, Sophie?
Yeah,
absolutely fine.
Let Archie kick on now, and then we'll take any questions at the end. Thank you.
No worries at all. Over to you, Archie.
Thank you. I'm just going to quickly get up presentation. Let me know we're good. Lovely. So Archie Doyle, Plant Director here at Kubus. I'm just going to do a quick whistle-stop tour of who we are and what we do. I appreciate some of you will know us, some of you won't. So who are Kubus? 20+ years of expertise. We were founded in 2003. And sort of strapline is we design, configure, test, ship, install, and support tailored IT solutions. But I will go into those bits just in a little bit more detail on the next slide. However, we sort of have 3 key pillars that we work across. That's advanced networking, security, and then server and storage. So Cisco partner of choice, and what can we do? And this sort of key to note that you can cherry pick this. It's not you have to do everything through us, but it's also we're not just a box shifter. So right from the early stages, we can design it. So we've got a whole host of in-house engineers and architects that work across those 3 pillars that I've mentioned. And let's say your network is this, or you have X at the moment, you want to get to Y. For certain business reasons, how do you get there? We'll sit down with you, work through whiteboard sessions, etc., to help try and pick the relevant solution that might fit you. And then off the back of that, hopefully we've been successful, and you might have bought a bit of kit off us or something like that. We can then sort of act as a virtual warehouse for you. So let's say you're rolling out something across a number of different sites. You don't want a load of kit cluttering your office or something like that. It'll sit with us. You can call it off as and when ready. You're also going to benefit from sort of a higher level of discounts because of bulk purchasing. Now, what can we do in addition to just storing that kit before sending it on to you? We have a technical operations center here at our sort of headquarters in the Cotswolds. And from there, we can pre-configure, stage, and test that kit. So we'll land it all here, drop the configs on, stage it, make sure it's tested, no DOAs are going to hit you as it's coming out, and sort of just take that level of stress off you. And if you've got a load of different sites that you need to do, we can ping it to each site as and when you need it and want it, rather than it, like I say, it being sort of sat at your place and you having to deal with it. That shipping sounds simple, but obviously that's something we do globally. Little asterisks, I think there's definitely a few blacklisted countries that we won't do, but we've done over 120+ countries or something like that. And quite often, if you've got sites, sites across the globe, that's where some of the other stuff fits into. We can configure and test it before it goes out. And then be it yourselves or us can meet that kit on the ground. So we can have done a chunk of it and it's plug and play for you, or we can actually have our own engineers come onto site do the installations, test it, make sure it's all working seamlessly, and you sort of away you go on that front. And then off the back of that, we can of course support it by 24/7, all the different SLAs that you would probably normally expect. We've got our own support portal that runs that. And then very recently, we've had another addition to this, or I've had another little addition to this slide, which is managed services. We've built our own NOC here in the Cotswolds, which we can provide 24/7 managed services off the back of it. So that sort of gives you a picture of, we can help right from the start to the end of your project life cycle. The next slide I will be very quick over, because for the purpose of today, we are very much only a Cisco Meraki house, but there are obviously a whole host of vendors that we do work with, and we'll leave that one there straight across. Sustainability, it's something that not just the industry, but globally everyone's trying to be better at. So we're Cisco Sustainability certified. Kubus are on a mission to become industry leaders in sustainability by 2028. And then what can we sort of do with Cisco and when you're running projects and things like that can help? So there's a trade-in program. You've got a load of legacy kit, be it Cisco, Meraki, or a competitive vendor. Cisco will actually take that back in. You can then benefit from additional upfront discounts. And what's nice is Cisco reuse over 99% of what's returned. So that could then sort of fits quite nicely and goes into the refresh program, which is, it's wiped, it's tested, it will come with warranty, it will come with support. But there will be businesses out there who maybe can't afford to buy the nice new shiny kit that's new to the market, so they sort of go there. Which obviously is nice and sustainable. And then Cisco Green Pay is Cisco's sustainable leasing option. Think of leasing a car, lease it for 4 or 5 years, however long you want to span that lease over, trade it back in, get something nice and new, but then that kit then goes back into the market. You can obviously extend that leasing option as well. And while we're sort of talking leasing, it's worth knowing that, you know, Kubus can do a number of tailored different finance options to fit your requirements, CapEx, OpEx, 3-year, 5-year, 7-year, you sort of name it. I like to think we can cover most things that are required on that front. And then sort of the Kubus offer, let's link it back to this. We can provide demos, but via our own engineers. Off the back of that, do you want some eval kit or a proof of concept that you want to run? We'll work with you to do that. And then finally, that sort of third step is a follow-up meeting with Kubus. You'll have a dedicated account manager. You'd also have sort of a dedicated engineer who's working alongside that account manager on your requirements. And then we'll also bring in the Cisco Meraki team as well. Your dedicated AM from that point. We work closely with our vendors because, let's face it, if you can get another brain in the room, people who've done it, all sorts of different times, it's going to make your life easier, and we'll be able to impart more knowledge onto you guys. And like I say, that was a very high level and quick overview. If you want to find out a little bit more about Kubus, for those of you who don't know us, feel free to reach out, and we can set up some follow-up meetings and go through things in a little bit more detail. But other than that sort of follows on to the Q&A, which I'll pass back to Soph. I think there's been a few questions, so I will hand over to you.
Thank you, Archie, and yeah, thanks very much to our other panelists. I think that's been really, really insightful. I appreciate that's quite a lot of information to take in over 40 minutes. So, as Archie said, we would love to speak to you all following on from today. I'm just going to have a quick look in the Q&A box. I think we've had a couple of questions come in. If you have got any more, keep on typing. I think we've got a few minutes to be able to address those. Let's have a look. Okay. Carl, Josh, Andy. First question, if I'm an existing Cisco umbrella customer, is there an upgrade path?
Sorry, I was just trying to find the unmute button.
I believe it's yes.
Yeah, so yeah, if you're an existing Meraki or an existing umbrella customer, then yes, there is a very clear upgrade path. We can look at your existing contract. We can port it over so that you're not effectively starting a new contract, not at any commercial deficit, and you'd effectively just be moved over. And if you already have the Meraki infrastructure, everything you see within the umbrella platform today will port over into the Meraki dashboard in that Secure Connect piece.
Perfect. Thank you, Josh. Another one in there. Let's have a look. SASE, SSE, what is the difference?
Yeah, again, really good question. They're basically two dollar terms. SASE is SSE, Secure Service Edge, and the SD-WAN piece put together. SSE is Secure Service Edge. It's all of the security piece. So it'd be without the Meraki SD-WAN or whoever you use as an SD-WAN provider.
Brilliant, thank you. So we've got another one in there. Will the remote access in Secure Connect fully replace our VPN into the firewall?
In short, yes, it would. And on that one, I would probably recommend, if that's something you're wanting to look at doing, that we can schedule a demo of one of our specialists to walk you through exactly what that would look like, because it depends on what VPN you've got and what you're wanting to achieve and what's behind the VPN, etc.
Cool, okay. And the last one we've got, how long will it take to get a trial in place?
Trials are really quick and simple to spin up. Again, like I mentioned in the previous sort of deck, we've got a lot of support behind this. So if this is something that anyone's wanting to achieve, then please reach out. And what we'll do is we can walk through the product with you a little bit further, understand exactly what you're wanting to achieve, so that we can make sure that the POC itself for the trial is tailored to exactly what you need. So you're on the right edition, you can test the right things, and you've got the right team behind you to support you throughout the trial period.
And I think off the back of that, if you want to kind of do it in conjunction with the Meraki trials, so you've got everything in the dashboard, you can see it all there at once with exactly the same. Shout us out, we can set up a trial. Kit ships the next business day, so it should be with you in a couple of days, fully supported. So if you want it all in the same dashboard like we showed you, then we can set up a Meraki trial off the back of it as well.
Brilliant, thank you guys. So doesn't look like I've got any more questions. That's been really, really insightful. Thank you so much to our audience for joining today. Hopefully you found it beneficial. We will be in touch with everyone following on from today just to get your feedback and hopefully see how we can further support you on your SASE journey. So thanks again and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks all, bye.
Thanks all, cheers, bye.